Hi everyone, it's Tatyana from Tatyana's Everyday Food and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'll be showing you guys the much requested mirror glaze tutorial. I'll be giving you step-by-step instructions and the ingredient measurements in grams and American measuring cups. Let's get started and I'll show you how to make this amazing finish that can go on just about any cake. The first thing I'll be doing is blooming my gelatin. I've measured out 30 grams of gelatin, about 3 tablespoons. To that, I'll be adding 180 grams of water, or about 3/4 cup. Pour that over. I'm going to give my gelatin a quick stir and then set it aside and allow it to bloom. For this next part, I'm using a tall glass heat-resistant container. To that, I'll be adding 210 grams, or 2/3 cup of sweetened condensed milk. Just pour that right in. And to my sweetened condensed milk, I'll be adding 300 grams or 1 3/4 cup of white chocolate chips. And you want to use a high quality white chocolate. And I'm going to set this aside for now. And on to the next step. So into a medium-sized saucepan, I'll be adding 200 grams or 200 milliliters of water. Next, I'm adding 300 grams or 200 milliliters of corn syrup. And finally, I have 300 grams of sugar, or 1 1/4 cups. Drop that all in. Give this a stir to get it all combined. You want to bring the mixture to a simmer over medium heat and just allow it to cook for about 2 to 3 minutes. After a few minutes, I'm going to add in my bloom gelatin and then cook this for about a minute to dissolve that gelatin completely. I have my syrup all ready and I'm going to pour it over my white chocolate and sweetened condensed milk. My previous container was a little bit smaller than I thought, so I just transferred it into a larger. And now I'm going to add my white food coloring. I'm going to add about 1 teaspoon. Drop that in. And the type I'm using today is a powder. You want to add the white food coloring because it will make the glaze less opaque, and then once you add the color, it's just going to be really bright and vibrant. So after letting this sit for a couple minutes, you'll want to grab a stick blender like this one. Insert it all the way so you don't have extra air bubbles getting incorporated, and then blend this all together. You want to blend the glaze together for a couple minutes. You want it to be really nice and smooth. Next, I'm going to drop some plastic wrap into the jar. You want to cover it so a film doesn't form over the glaze. And I'm actually going to place this into the refrigerator. The glaze needs to cool down to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm going to drop it into the fridge and then just stir it every 20-30 minutes until it's cooled to the right temperature. If you work with this while it's still too hot, it's just going to run off the cake. And likewise, you don't want it to be too cold because otherwise it's going to be too thick. Let's talk about the cake. So for the mirror glaze to work the best, you want to smooth down the sides of the cake as best as you can. You want a really smooth, leveled off surface. And then I also place the cake onto a cardboard round, and then I'm going to place it onto a glass over a baking dish to catch any excess glaze. My glaze is all cooled now, and as it cools, it's going to start to thicken. Make sure you stir it so the mixture is smooth and even. And now it's time to add some color. So today I want to do a swirl effect with some red, yellow, and gold food coloring. So I'm going to drop a few drops in. Add some yellow. And I'm going to add a little bit of gold dust, so we have a little shimmer in there. Going to grab a spoon and just gently swirl those colors in. And now for the best part, time to glaze the cake. After you glaze your cake, you want to grab a flat spatula, run it underneath it to wipe off any excess glaze, and then set this into the refrigerator. Allow it to set for about 15 minutes. It sets up very, very quickly. And then grab a cake lifter and gently transfer this onto a cake stand. This looks so pretty. In addition to the gold glaze that I added into the cake, I actually sprinkled some on the top too. Whew, Look at that. And that's it, guys, for a mirror glaze cake. A couple more pointers. You want to keep this refrigerated so that the glaze doesn't melt since it is set with gelatin. So I'm actually going to pop this into the refrigerator. Second tip, you can use this for just about any type of cake as long as you can level off the top and sides so the glaze looks really pretty on the cake. Third tip, you want to make sure you have enough glaze. One of the first mistakes I made when I first started trying the mirror glaze is I didn't make enough and it didn't cover my cake all the way. So this recipe makes for a big batch of glaze, and that's perfect. You'll have enough to glaze your cake over and even glaze it twice if necessary. So definitely stick with a large portion of the glaze. And that's it, guys, for our mirror glaze tutorial. If you have any questions regarding this video, feel free to comment in the comment section below. I always try to get to all of your guys' questions. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.